Coming up, Tzu volunteers in Malaysia establish cash reward programs in flood-affected areas. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. In the aftermath of what was considered the worst flooding in decades in Malaysia, now the floodwaters have mostly subsided. Tzu volunteers of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter have launched cash reward programs to kickstart recovery efforts in the flood-affected areas. Today, we take a look at the progress made in Pahang and Kelantan states.
Following the floods, many people here in Kuala Krau have been rendered homeless and helpless. Residents' waterlogged and muddy furniture and belongings have been discarded alongside the road. As the flooding has left behind a thick layer of mud, volunteers quickly launched a cash for work program to help residents clean up their homes.
I'm a shortage of manpower to help my people, and then your volunteers come to help. A very proud, very happy, and then thanks God,
Local government officials arrived to extend their thanks to Tzu. In Pahang State, more than 1,300 people signed up for the Cash for Work program in 7 locations across 2 cities on the first day alone. They were joined by some 2,000 volunteers from Kuala Lumpur, Kuantan and Malacca.
We have between 3,000 to 4,000 people joining the recovery efforts in 7 locations. It was very challenging, especially overseeing the overall coordination and delegation of tasks. Plus, 2 of the locations were about an hour's drive apart.
Knowing that help has arrived and that they're no longer alone, tears well up in the eyes of residents.
So many people came to share our burden. For those that came to help us, I want to thank all of you.
Tzu's assistance really moved many local residents. I believe more people will come tomorrow. If all 2,000 people arrive, cleanup work in the hard-hit areas will take at least another 3 to 4 days.
Wherever there is disaster, Tzu volunteers cross all religious and ethnic divides to bring love to those who need it the most. A religious representative leads close to 2,000 local residents in sincere prayer. With cleaning tools in hand, Cash for Work participants hop on board 48 trucks and set out for the cleanup sites. Tasked with the mission, today these Cash for Work participants are going to help clean up flood debris at schools, local mosques, recycling stations and markets. If it were not for the help of Cash for Work participants, classes would not have been able to resume as planned at Mahat Muhammadi School.
Tzu Foundation told me that there is cleaning today, so I came to join. It doesn't matter. The people of Kelantan do not distinguish between religions.
Cash for Work participants and Tzu volunteers work together to sweep out the mud and debris from the classrooms.
I'm so thankful and so grateful. It doesn't matter who is providing the assistance. We appreciate it, regardless of who is helping. You're Buddhist, we're Muslim, but that isn't an issue because we are all people of Malaysia.
Regardless of faith and race, everyone just has one goal in mind: to restore the beauty and rich cultural heritage of Kelantan.
Besides established cash reward programs to help those affected by the worst flooding in 30 years, Tzu volunteers also conducted a relief distribution in DaAi of Kelantan, helping a total of 366 families.
As the second largest city of the Malaysian state of Kelantan, Tanah Merah also suffered in the recent flood. After securing a local school as a distribution venue, Tzu volunteers proceeded to clean up and unload their supplies. This is already the 3rd trip for these volunteers from Penang, who are mostly entrepreneurs.
We are here to deliver our love and support. Everyone here today is an emissary of the Tzu Foundation.
Setting aside their pride, the volunteers humbly hand over the supplies and help bring a smile to the faces of the distraught flood victims.
I feel very happy because someone out there can empathize with our current situation. We have the heavens to thank.
The village chief also showed up to convey his appreciation personally, as Tzu is the first NGO to offer its assistance.
I'm very grateful for the Tzu Chi Foundation. Thanks to you, those flood victims who are in need of assistance finally have some clothes and food.
Meanwhile, those on the giving end have also gained a lot by helping those in need directly.
No one complained even though our feet were aching from all the work. We don't feel tired at all.
We weren't the only ones who helped out this time. The flood victims themselves have also done what they could, so I think this time is quite special.
The neighboring town of Kuala Karai is also in need of assistance. Having conducted their initial assessment, volunteers will soon return to help the flood victims there recover from the disaster.
Staying in Malaysia, we traveled to both Pahang and Perak to see how Tzu Chi volunteers help flood victims regain their footing following the region's worst flooding in memory.
Early in the morning, Tzu Chi's relief team set off from Malacca for hard-hit Padang Tengku. After a 7-hour drive, volunteers finally arrive at Segumar's clinic.
You have given the flood victims here hope and helped many, especially in this difficult time.
Padang Tengku, like most areas of Pahang, was hit hard by the recent flooding. Throughout, Dr. Sugomar was at the forefront in helping the volunteers carry out disaster assessments in the region. Although the floodwaters have receded, recovery will be slow for many, such as for Mazri, who lost all his wedding gifts.
These were to be given to our guests, but now all we can do is wash them and dry them in the sun. These cakes will have to be thrown away.
With everything from clothing to mattresses still waterlogged, residents wonder when this nightmare will finally be over.
After the military came to help clean up, the Health Bureau will come to disinfect the area. Our home has yet to be disinfected.
Others have already started to clean up with water saved during the heavy rains.
Right after the flooding, we had no running water. So while it was raining, we put our buckets to collect the rain and then used that water to clean our house.
Volunteers not only bring love and care, but also a tasty meal in the form of instant rice.
Without running water or gas, you can still eat it by just adding water.
While in Bota, a small town in Perak's Ipoh, volunteers have been bringing love and care in the form of aid distributions and some good old Tzu Chi songs. With a 90-degree bow, volunteers present their hopes and blessings for the days ahead. Once again, Tzu Chi has shown that, with great love, new beginnings and new partnerships are easy.